Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing July beauty favorites. I'm going to switch up the way I film this a little bit this month because instead of doing like get ready with me style, I'm just going to do like good old fashioned sit, talk to you, show you demos of the products, but I also wanted to include a couple other beauty favorites. So I wanted to talk about some skincare and some hair care favorites as well. So we'll just get right into it. I want to get started off with an illuminator that I am so excited to tell you about. I cannot wait to share this with you. So this is the Valentino V Lighter, and this one is in the shade Ambra. So this is a dual use liquid light face base and top coat, and when I tell you that this is Tom Ford Firelust reincarnated, I was so excited to start using this and like swatch this on my skin. The first time I used it, I was like, Tom Ford Firelust. Tom Ford Firelust was a little bit more pinky, but I actually enjoy the soft amber tone of this one a little bit more. Tom Ford Firelust was one of my first like favorite illuminators I really loved because it had that pinkiness to it. It really like woke up my skin tone and it just looked so healthy underneath makeup. Another niche reference, but MAC had a Hyper Real Glow collection several years ago, and they had a product in the collection called Hyper Real Glow Foundation, but it was more of this really gorgeous gel type illuminator, and I was obsessed with it. I raved about it on my channel for so long. It looked like this, and then Tom Ford's Firelust, same thing. Those really gorgeous like ambery tones, now you can really only find these on like Poshmark and stuff, but those were two of my all-time favorite products because they had this not like rose gold, but like I said, this really gorgeous like amber hue to them. It's honestly so rare that I actually find an illuminator that I like this much, especially for this tone. Ever since Firelust was discontinued, ever since the Hyper Real Glow foundations were discontinued, I have been actively searching for something similar, something that's gonna get me as excited about the tone and like the formula of the illuminator itself. This is perfect. So if you were a fan of Firelust, if you were a fan of the Hyper Real Glow foundations, this is the next best thing. I promise you'll love it if you loved those as much as I do. It makes me happy when I wear it, and I like that it's a true illuminator, so it doesn't have any type of skin tint to it, so it's not going to give you coverage, but it's going to make your base look basically irresistible. Like it just gives your skin tone the perfect hint of color, but also gives you that really gorgeous pearl luminescent glow without being like flecky or glittery, and it looks beautiful on its own, mixed in with makeup, on top of makeup, underneath makeup. It really does it all. It is so good. RMS also came out with a new SPF 30 that I've been loving. So this is the RMS Supernatural Radiance Serum, and I have mine in the shade Medium Aura, and this is stunning. It's a really beautiful lightweight product, but it is also heavily pearlized. So I think a little bit mixed in with whatever other SPF you're going to be wearing is going to give you the most natural result. Of course, you can wear this on its own, and I'm not going to say it gives your skin coverage, but it definitely evens out your skin tone in a really beautiful way. So I believe there are 3 different shades of this, so you'll want to choose a shade that's somewhat similar to your skin tone so that it blends in as good as possible. I've had no issues with this causing any type of irritation, redness in my eyes, or just any type of itchies and scratchies that I sometimes get with other types of sunscreen, and I have been loving this. I think it plays really nice with makeup, looks super stunning underneath a tinted moisturizer, but you can tweak the amount of radiance by just mixing a couple drops into your typical daily SPF. You don't want to, dilute it by mixing it with something that doesn't have SPF, but it's really nice and super easy to fit into your routine because you already wear sunscreen every day. So I've really been enjoying this. As far as base coverage goes, if I'm not wearing like a tinted SPF product, I have been loving the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint. Now, I previously mentioned the shade 312, which I felt like is a good match for my skin when I have some color to it and I am tanned. I think it looks really spot on, but some days I was feeling like it was a little bit too dark, so I picked one up in a few shades lighter. So this is the shade 220, and I feel like this is a nice lighter shade for me, but also if I'm anywhere in between, again, I can mix them together to create a custom shade, which most of the time I have to do with most foundations. It's very rare that there's like one perfect shade match for me, But overall, so impressed with this. It's a skin tint, but it has the longevity of a longwear foundation. Like, I would compare the longevity on this to something like Estee Lauder Double Wear or even like Revlon Color Stay. It really has incredible stay power because it is part of the Super Stay line. And I know I've mentioned this before, some of the Super Stay base products I don't like because I find them to be really visibly drying on my skin. With this, I don't have that issue. It also has like a built-in pearl, and one of the things that's really nice is actually 312 has more of a red bronze pearl to it, and then 220 has more of a soft champagne pearl. So they have different colors of luminosity depending on the shade that you get, so that's really nice because if you do get a darker shade, you're not going to get like more of an icy finish to the skin. It's going to be more complementary to a deeper skin tone. But loving this. The coverage points on this are also amazing because I find this to be fully customizable. Anywhere between like a sheer soft skin filter type of coverage all the way to, dare I say, like medium full. For me, I can really build this up and get some amazing coverage. So it, you know, can cover more than you'd probably be expecting from a skin tint. Longevity is great, finish is beautiful. I've just been super impressed with this, and I think it's one of the best skin tints out there, drugstore or not. I actually can't remember if I've ever mentioned this concealer in a favorites video yet, but every time I wear it, it never ceases to amaze me at how good it looks regardless of the conditions that I'm wearing it in. So this is the Ami Colé Skin Enhancing Concealer. I wear the shade medium 2.5, and as you know, I have a lot of post-acne hyperpigmentation, redness around my nose, and just like dark spots around my eyes. This shade matches my skin tone perfect. So it blends in so seamlessly, but also if I'm not going for like a super brightened up under eye look, it looks really pretty under the eyes as well. But I am just like astonished at how beautiful this is at concealing problem areas on my face without making it look makeup-y. I love the formula. It's not particularly creamy, which is typically what I want in a concealer. I find this one to be like really fluid and lightweight, and that's what I love about it so much. Like it looks really good and really natural, and it's just surprised me at how much I choose to use this over a lot of other concealers. I was browsing the beauty section on Revolve a month ago or so, and I had never tried this brand, but I always see people talking about it, so I wanted to give it a go. I ended up purchasing 3 products from Dibs and love all 3, so I feel like they deserve some spotlight. So I know you've seen me talk about this. It's the blush and bronzer duo stick. So on one side you have your bronzer, and then on the other side you have your blush. Mine is in the shade 5.5. The bronzer is in Cocoa Kiss, and then the blush is in Wine Nut. Everything about this I love, down to the way the product smells, but overall just the formula is really amazing because I love how creamy and emollient these are, but they don't stay particularly slick on my skin. When it touches your skin, it's almost like, whoa, is this going to be really sticky and oily? But it blends in perfectly, and I feel like it sets down really nice as well. And I just love the tone of this, and it's been living in my makeup bag because I want to use it so much. It is one of my favorite cream stick bronzers I've ever tried, and I love the blush too. It's just like a mauve-y berry, which of course you know I love. Now I also did get the Good Life Gold highlighting stick. Now you can use this on face and body. Okay, the other thing I want to say about Dibs, all the products smell so good. It's crazy how good these products smell. Like, it's honestly addicting to keep smelling them. So Good Life Gold is beautiful. I like how this is a gigantic stick, and you can use this on body, so like your legs, your chest, your arms, all of that, and then you can use it on face. This looks like it's going to be an intimidating shade of gold. Like, it borderline looks kind of like antique-y, but it blends out so stunning, and it's not that intense of a gold. I will say this is a little bit more on the balmy side, so if you don't love a cream highlight, you might not like this, but do you see how it's just like that nice sheen? And it's not sticky to the touch, but it can have a tendency to move around, especially if you like touch your face a lot or something, so you might want to set it with a powder. But if you are, you know, primed in the game of cream highlights and you really like the way that cream highlight looks on your skin, I think you will adore this. And the only way I'll go through this much product is if I start using it on my body. I wore it on my chest and shoulders one night and I thought it looked really, really nice. It just kind of like complements a tan really well. The third thing I bought from Dibs is the No Pressure Lip Pencil. Full disclosure, I thought this was going to be a full-size lip liner. It is very tiny and mini, but the shade of this is really beautiful. It's kind of like a woody light taupe, so perfect for overlining. Tone is like so good. It's perfect for just cheating the size of your lips, especially for me because the border around my lips is white. So I like having colors like this in my lip liner collection so that I can do a little bit of overlining without it looking obnoxious. So I finally got around to trying the Jones Road Gel Bronzer. Now I have this in the shade medium and I have been loving this. I genuinely don't think I have anything else in my collection like this. I even thought maybe it's going to be similar to the Drunk Elephant Deep Bronzy Drops, but I don't think it is. First of all, there's no pearl or luminous pigment to this, and it blends out so sheer, and it has a really unique, not sticky formula, but it does feel like a thick gel, almost like a liquid gel moisturizer. And it shears out and it replicates tanned skin so nicely. I don't even really think that this looks like makeup if I'm being completely honest, because it's not going to give you like glam bronze or like, you know, a noticeable amount of bronze on your skin. It's going to look like instantly tanned skin. So it instantly gives you that really healthy color to your skin, like you've actually been outside. I haven't had any issues with it lifting makeup underneath, but I also think that it's going to depend on how much makeup you're wearing underneath it. So if you have a full coverage face on, there is potential for lifting. I haven't tried it in that sense yet, but in terms of like tinted sunscreens, tinted moisturizers, lightweight skin tints, or light coverage foundations, I've had no issues. And you can also mix it into your foundations to give it a little bit more color and just kind of like, you know, make it look a little bit more like your summertime shade. I've just been enjoying this so much and I really like playing around with it and finding new ways to use it. I think I'm gonna officially take Maybelline Lash Stiletto down a notch, and this is going to take its place. I find this formula to be softer. I find the lashes to be a little bit more flexible. They look more feathery. I still get a lot of length and volume, and I get some really great separation from this mascara. I think it's great. I like how my lashes feel like soft to the touch when I'm wearing it, and they just look a little bit more pillowy, if that makes sense. It's not going to be the best if you're really looking for like super dramatic false lash effects, even though it is like part of the falsies line. I still think it's a more natural take on like a natural looking lash extension type of vibe. Looks really gorgeous and soft on the lower lashes as well. No issues with like clumping, flaking. I love the formula. I love the brush. Making its way into like top 5 mascaras of all time. And you know, that's kind of huge because I try so many mascaras, like all the new launches. I tend to really like a lot of drugstore mascaras over high-end ones, but it's like hard to beat Dior Show, and it's really hard to beat Maybelline Lash Stiletto, but I feel like this one totally did. Moving into some skincare, and then we'll finish off with hair. So the first thing I want to start off with is not really a skincare product, but I don't really know where else to put it. So this is the Saint Tropez Advanced 1 Hour Tan. This is by no means a new product. This has been out for years. I've used it on and off in the past for years, but I don't think I ever fully took advantage of the fact that you only have to have this on your body for 1 hour, 1 to 3 hours, and it develops much faster than other self-tans I've used. I like the color, and I just find it to be a lot easier because I am so over going to bed with self-tan on. It's just so inconvenient. I feel like I have to wash my sheets way more often, like twice a week or 3 times a week, depending on how many times I self-tan in a week. I do have a tanning sleep sack, but still, like it leaks through and it gets on the sheets, and it's just really annoying. So you can put this on in the morning or at night before you rinse off in the shower, and then depending on like how many layers of it you do, I think actually intensifies the color versus the length of time that you have it on for. And I still do think that you'll have the best result like a full 24 hours after you've been wearing it. But the convenience of being able to like go on a weekend trip and not feel stressed about having to do a self-tan routine the night before and shower is just so nice, because I can do this the morning of, I can rinse it off, I'm good to go. It develops all throughout the next 24 hours, and it's also just super convenient to do a little bit of tan touring on the face when you just want like a little bit of color. So I use this very frequently. When I repurchased it, I was like, oh, I really love the convenience of this. I want to talk about it. Now, I've also really been loving a couple different skincare products. So the first one is a cleanser. This is from Real Beauty. This is the Miracle Clear Exfoliating Cleanser. First of all, I love the texture and formula of this. It's like a ton of tiny microfine bubbles, so it just creates this like really nice lather on my skin. It's gentle. I usually use it for double cleansing because I'll remove my makeup with like a cleansing balm and then go in with this. I haven't had any issues with like irritation either, and on days where I do, you know, face demos of products, I'm sometimes washing my face literally like 14 plus times to get all the makeup off for like face demos. It's crazy, and you know, sometimes I have to dial those back because my face gets really irritated and it can cause eczema flare-ups. But yeah, this has been really great. I'm not gonna go into saying like I think it's prevented acne and everything, but I think it keeps my skin nice and smooth, cleanses really well, and I don't have any type of irritation. But also, the foam in itself is like why I like it. It just feels so luxe when I'm using it. And I've also been obsessed with the Rhode Glazing Milk. This is by far the craziest essence I have ever used. Now, I thought that the Laneige skin, you know, the Laneige, the white one in the bottle, I was like, this is the thickest essence I've ever used. This is the most dewy, the most hydrating. This is like the Laneige essence amplified by 10. This makes your skin look so dewy, feel so moisturized. It like seals in all your serums and skincare and just makes makeup lay on top of it so nicely. It's really nice to use at night, provides the skin with long-lasting hydration throughout the night. I am so impressed with this. I have been like religiously using it. And this is the nice bottle. I still have my little Rhode lab sample that I'm going through because this is so moisturizing. You just need such a tiny bit. So I'm like a huge Rhode lover. I think the Rhode skincare, like, I don't think it's overhyped. I think it's really great for me, especially because I have like a more sensitized skin type sometimes. And then the last thing I want to mention is the Skin Gym Glow Oil. I don't know what is in this oil that makes it so much better than other facial oils, but this literally makes my skin glow. Like, I know when you use a face oil, you're gonna get that natural sheen on your skin, but this makes my skin glow. I will put this like really concentrated under my under eyes, use a reusable skin patch, and I will mix this in with my face moisturizer to get a little bit of extra glow. But if you really wanna treat yourself, take like a third of a dropper, put it in between your palms of your hands and really press it into the skin, and it doesn't look oily. It really just makes your skin look hydrated and supple without looking like you have like a face oil on. It's just really nice and really lightweight. I love it. And I want to move into two hair favorites. So first is the Amika Blow Dry Brush. Now, this isn't actually a blow dry brush. It just creates a faux blow dry effect on the hair. So you do need to use it with dry hair because there's no actual airflow that comes out of this brush. So the brush itself, this cylinder heats up and then you use that to, you know, style the hair. And this brush is how I've just been kind of getting that easy, voluminous, soft, undone wave, but you can actually do more curly styles with it as well. It just depends on the amount of tension that you use and how tight you kind of curl your hair with it. But I love this. Before like taking the plunge and purchasing the Amika one, because this is pricey, I purchased like two knockoffs, if you will, which basically totaled the price of this. But the first one I got had rubber bristles and I felt like it was literally yanking my hair out when I was using it. So I got rid of that one, and then I tried like again, like a more affordable version of this, and the same thing, like I felt like it was ripping my hair out. Whereas when I use the Amika one, I don't have issues with losing hair. Like, obviously when you brush your hair, a couple strands come out, so that's normal, but I don't have like that sensation of yanking and tugging. I also feel like it doesn't get as hot as a traditional curling iron, or if not, that it's, you know, maybe it is getting as hot as a traditional curling iron, but my hair is not pressed to the plate for as long or as tight as it is with a curling iron or a flat iron. So I've really been liking this, and I like how I can like get a blowout look without having to actually do a blowout because I'm lazy. And I want to end this on my current hair color that I've been using. So it's not even really a hair color, it's a color depositing conditioner. So this is from Cara Color. It is the Color and Conditioner, and I have it in the shade Mocha. This one's just about gone. I probably have about one more use in here. I can actually show you it. That'd probably be helpful. So you can see it's a conditioner with a ton of pigment to it. So you use this to wash your hair. There's actually a chart on the back that like will show you 1 wash, 3 washes, 5 washes, so on and so forth. But keeping up with my hair color is not as much of a production when I'm using this versus having to like color or do a glaze all the time. I like this color so much that I purchased the big size. So this is the giant mocha one. And I think you can only get the big size off of Amazon. I got this size from Ulta, but when I saw like they had the bigger one, I was like, I'm just gonna get that because I have a lot of hair that needs to be washed. So I felt like it was just gonna last longer in my shower. Now what I like about this so much is if you want a little bit more of an intense look from the color, apply it to dry hair and leave it on a little bit longer. And if you just want to kind of like refresh your color, add a little bit more vibrancy, you can just apply this in the shower and you wash your hair with it. So if you've used a conditioner hair wash before, it's the same process. Just massage it in, leave it in for a little bit longer like you would a deep conditioning mask, rinse it out. And you know how sometimes when you use other color depositing products, like if your hair gets wet in the rain, it will literally stain your shirt or whatever, you know, or it could just like transfer onto other surfaces. No issues with that with this. There's also other colors. I was interested in trying like the lighter one, but I feel like this is a good one because it's not a permanent color. It rinses out quicker. So it's a little bit more maintenance, if you will, but it's not a full color process and it's obviously more healthy for your hair as well. So I wash my hair with it once a week or twice a week. I guess it depends how much I'm actually using shampoo, but overall I don't use it more than once or twice a week. Coat my hair in it, put my hair in a clip while I'm showering, do my shaving and all my, you know, everything else that I need to get done, and then rinse this out right before I get out. And it's so nice. It's so convenient. And again, I'm tired of having to keep up with hair color. That's why like I'll do highlights and then I'm like, I can't keep up with the toning of highlights. I can't keep up with having to get highlights touched up or just any of that. Every time I lighten my hair, I love it for like a week and then I regret it shortly after once I start seeing that brassiness come through. Alright, so that is everything I wanted to mention for July Beauty Favorites. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you like this style of favorites. I think this is a little bit more fun because sometimes when I do get ready with me's, it's hard to fit in other things like skincare or like hair care because I'm like, where does that go in a get ready with me? Maybe at the end. I don't know. Let me know if you have a preference on that. But other than that, I'm going to list and link everything in the description box down below for you. I'll have my Instagram, my TikTok, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye everyone.